What is up? It's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be the full Moon Readathon 2024 announcement video. It's that time of year again, folks. But also not really, because it's kind of early. I usually do this about a month prior, but it's currently still June. Welcome to round 3 of Full Moon Readathon. Wild. I don't even know where to start. I've been doing this for 3 years now. It's been surreal that this actually went well the first year, let alone y'all wanting it for a 3rd year in a row. But I guess I'll start with merch, because I always forget to shamelessly plug my merch. So this is one of the designs from last year, but this is technically for Full Moon Book Club, but it also works for Full Moon Readathon. It says, sorry, I can't, it's a full moon. I have a bunch of new designs as well that I just launched about a week or 2 ago. The way it works is I have this thing called Smart Launch turned on, where they ship in batches of 2 weeks. So it's a 2-week limit per batch of shipment, if that makes sense. So I launched this last round of merch, I believe June 3rd, and I think the last day to order is the 16th or 17th. So then that batch of shipment will go out, but you could still order at any time. Either way, you have plenty of time to order merch if you want. Just a disclaimer, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I do not get much profit from my merch. It's really just for you to have bookish designs and for you to represent this little corner of the internet out in the wild. And it means the world to me seeing my merch going around to like Disney World and like book events all around the world, also even like the mall or the grocery store. Like, it's wild. I know I said it's wild like 17 times, but I just cannot fathom. So that alone means the world to me. But full transparency, per item I only get like $2 to $5 max. So just a little disclaimer there. Let's get into the readathon details. How do I do this? It's almost like it's been a year since I've done this. I just created templates. I've had the prompts ready since the end of last year's readathon. So this readathon will be going from August 1st to the 13th once again, just like last year. I contemplated shortening it because I don't have an Instagram just for this readathon, because I figured it'd be better to just use my main account. But like having 13 days worth of like stories and posts, that was a lot. So I don't know what I'm gonna be changing about that this year, but y'all wanted 13 days. I took a little poll on my Patreon. Everyone was like, the longer the better, and I was like, that's what she said. But we're doing 13 days once again. So sorry in advance if you watch my Instagram stories, because I will be reposting the majority of people's tags. I did go private on Instagram. I also restricted some things like story replies and all that. So tagging me might be kind of complicated this year, just for personal reasons. Okay, we're not asking questions. If y'all are new here, if you haven't heard, I've been, better about my like boundaries with the internet. I learned the hard way. So tagging might be kind of weird this year, but I think as long as you follow me, I think it should be fine. I set it so I could still repost stories, even though I might not follow you or you end up in my message request or something. So we'll figure it out, but sorry in advance if that's all weird. Okay, August 1st to 13th. And y'all really just care about the prompts, huh? I'm trying to think if there are any other like housekeeping things. Oh, sprints, Patreon only. I'm sorry. Like I said earlier, this year I am only doing live shows on Patreon now, again for personal and boundary reasons, because the audience is smaller and identifiable. I promise it's not a paywall thing. It's just safety and boundaries and personal anxiety things. There are plenty of other sprints out there on YouTube, but sprints will be Patreon only, and I'll probably do at least 2 rounds of sprints in those 13 days. And now let's go to the nitty-gritty details. I'll move over and put the graphic right here. So I have the main TBR graphic template thing where you could put all your book titles in your story or wherever you want to post it. And then I have separate character tarot card inspired things where you could track your progress, essentially, is the idea. So if you haven't done a Full Moon Readathon with us before, we have 4 characters, and I choose 4 different characters every year, and then prompts for each one. So as you can see, hopefully, there are 2 reading prompts and 1 activity prompt for each character, and there's a crescent moon, a half moon, and a full moon. You could do this readathon several ways, okay? You can do them in order from crescent moon to full moon. So like you can't move on until you complete the previous prompt, if that makes sense. So you can't do the half moon first and then the crescent moon. You have to do the crescent moon first. And ideally, I tried to make the crescent moon prompt the easiest, so it's easy to move up. And then the middle one is a little bit tougher. And then we have the activity prompt to close it out. So it's like a little fun reward type of thing. Or you can just do them out of order. I don't care. But the goal is to collect as many characters as you can in the 13 days. And by completing characters, I mean finishing all the prompts per character. So some people treat these as like, I don't know, collector cards, you know, gotta catch them all type thing. Or you could even like just focus on one character and just do the prompts over and over and see like how many ravens you can get in 13 days. I don't know. It's flexible, okay? I just make the prompts, I just do the things, and I let y'all take the wheel basically for how you want to complete it. My readathons are very laid back. Okay, so first character is our mummy. The prompts are to read a paperback book. These are probably the most clever prompts out of all the characters. The second prompt is a book you've had for a long time, because I was thinking of mummies, obviously, and preservation, long time, you get it. And then the activity prompt is to post your reading wrap up so far, because wrap up, get it, wrap mummy, yeah. So this could be on social media, on Discord if you're on Patreon, even if you're just sharing it with a friend, share it with me. There are many options for that one. The next character is our raven. For this, the first prompt is to read a classic, and that could either be a book, a poem, or a short story, because obviously The Raven is a classic poem by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't want it to be stressful, so I included poem or short story as well. The next prompt is to read just from an author that you love, very straightforward. The activity prompt is to take some time to journal, just for mental health reasons, for fun. This could be like bullet journaling too. Our next character is our Mr. Creepy Clown. Sorry if you're afraid of clowns. First prompt is to read a book with humor, and that can be like, I don't know, I think of Jenny Lawson's nonfiction books when I think of humorous books. You can read a rom-com, or you can just read like a silly, goofy fantasy. You know, there are a lot of like comedic, cozy fantasies going around right now, like Assistant to the Villain, Dreadful, or if there are characters that are stand-up comedians, like in You Again by Kate Goldbeck, that works too. You can read a book of dad jokes. I don't give a shit. If you happen to laugh out loud and you weren't intentionally counting that for this prompt, count it. Next prompt is a book with a colorful cover, because clowns, colorful. Okay. The activity prompt for this one is do something to bring out your inner child. This could be something as simple as like coloring, or watching cartoons, or hanging out at a playground or park of some sort, or visiting somewhere that you loved in your childhood, hanging out at your mom's house. What other examples are there? Eating your favorite food as a child, getting a kid's meal, even just like playing video games. That could count. All right, and then the last character is our werewolf, and the first prompt is read a book with a wolf involved. Last year I had the devil and read a book with fire involved, so this is the same thing. This could be a wolf in the title, a wolf on the cover, a wolf involved in the story. You know, there's a lot of Omegaverse things going around. There's The Wolf of Oren-Yaro that I might actually read finally, because I've had that on my shelves for years. Oh, Such Sharp Teeth is a werewolf book. There's Bride. If you haven't read Bride yet, this would be the time. The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. Possibilities are endless. This one is probably going to be the hardest one for most people, I'm predicting. The next prompt is read a special edition book or a book with an alternate cover. I had like the whole transformation thing in mind. This prompt was originally going to be like a book that you think will change you, but that was like a little too subjective, a little too vague, and like how could you really know that, you know? So I thought a special edition or an alternate cover had the same essence with like changing, transforming. Yeah. The last activity prompt is spend some time in nature, because werewolves are out in the wild. So this could even be as simple as like reading outside on your balcony or your backyard, or you can go as extreme as like going on a big hike. Those are all the prompts. I'm so excited. I've been planning this literally for a year, because like I said, I've had the prompts in my little note on my phone. It's gonna be fun. I'll be active on Instagram for sure, and I'll probably be posting on the community tab asking about people's progress, and y'all can comment on there and interact on there. So there will be YouTube interactions, I promise. And I will be vlogging. I'll probably do 2 vlogs again like I did the past couple years. It's 13 days because I love the number 13. I'm stoked. I'm excited to start August with y'all. I don't have much else to say. I just can't believe that this is happening again. So thank you for participating in the past and expressing interest again for another round. If you made it to the end of this video, let's put any of the characters in the comments down below. A clown, blackbird, is there a mummy emoji? Or a wolf in the comments down below if you made it to the end. If you're participating, please let me know. Hope you have a 5-star day. Don't forget to do some self-care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!